This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Crust out your eyes.
I don't know the name of it. And I don't know who sing it.
Yeah, that's my man Buttahman, ladies and gentlemen, here with us today, 19 minutes into the hour, who's actually performing at doing a comedy showcase at the Stand NYC, and that's tonight?
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
The Stand, and it's at 6 p.m. Tomorrow night. The address is 239 3rd Avenue. If you're in the tri-state area, make sure you check it out. Buttahman, Buttahman. Good friend of mine, Heather B.
Right.
I've known this man for years, so I won't say how many years, but
right.
we definitely
go back.
We go way back.
We
man.
go back.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we both came up in radio, and then we both ended up working at MTV. And I remember the time when he got hired, and I used to see him come in the building. And I remember one of those days you had one of your final meetings, I believe it was, and I was in the elevator shaft. And he was telling me he's going to do it. And I was like, do it. Make sure you get the money. And the door closed.
And it was funny because I had another interview at another radio station. And that was like a life-changing situation because I remember Sway coming to me like, yo, Buttah, haven't you done everything you could do in radio? You need to come over to TV. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, TV. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how that works out.
Yep. And it ended up working out for you.
Word up, no doubt.
Buttah is at MTV. We got MTV Jams, right? One of the really a channel that people like to watch a whole lot.
Yeah.
Probably more than one or the other ones. Buttah launched MTV Jams.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
You said it.
Yes, he launched MTV Jams. He went on to do Hood Fab, which was like a popular original series at MTV Jams.
I remember that song, Hood
With the
Fab.
socks, with the socks,
He used
yes.
to go to the hood and give away socks all the time. Sometimes Foot Locker gift cards. But most of the time, you would get that pack of socks.
The brokest game show in America. Yes, people. People.
And it became the biggest one. You didn't win 10,000, 100,000. You won a pair of socks.
And an iPod Shuffle.
An iPod Shuffle back then.
That was the kind of budgets that we had at MTV Jams. We were just
right.
balling out of control, dude.
A lot of people did that. Who were some of the artists that appeared on that?
We had Ross on there, Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, Flo Rida, Khaled, Fat Joe. Just pretty much, what the cool thing about it was that it was so simple, but everybody got it.
Yeah.
And I remember like one time, like we went with Shawty Low into like Bowen houses. And because we would really go to the hood. Like we were literally in the hood. And I never forget this, like everybody from the neighborhood came out because it was Shawty Low's hood, and we drive it, and it's like the biggest project. Actually, it's not even there anymore. Like they destroyed it. And so we go in there, and the cops like came over, like, yo, trying to break up their little barbecue. And everybody from the hood just looked at the cops and was like, y'all know what time it is. Go back over there. I've never seen cops get punked like that before in my life, yo.
And they went back to where they were.
It was, and they went right back across the street where they went to.
Man, that was the first protest right there. And then Buttah, you eventually left MTV and you became a program and music director, right, at BET?
Yeah, I'm director of music at BET, working primarily with 106 in Park. And yeah, dude, so that's pretty much what I'm doing today. But the comedy thing is really like my passion. I actually started doing comedy when I was in radio, and then eventually, it became like this thing where like I missed the live performance aspect of it. So I really went hard back into comedy like about 2.5, 3 years ago.
About 2.5, 3 years ago. And then all of this is taking place, and we're hanging out with Buttah and I used to hit the town. I remember one time we were in Miami. One of my favorite memories that we had. Motherfucker somehow had a camcorder or something, right? Back then, you didn't have iPhones and all that. And me and Buttah was just hanging out in South Beach and just running up on people, clowning. And this dude was just clowning with folks, clowning with women. And basically, we was picking up women with the camera.
Right.
And so fast forward years later, Buttah made a gigantic announcement that caught a lot of people off guard. And you did it in a really interesting way. Buttah pretty much came out and let people know that he's gay.
Right.
And most of your friends didn't even know, right?
No, I mean, the thing is, dude, Yeah, and even in my comedy, like it's interesting when, you know, because I talk about being on the radio and doing stuff, and when I go into the part about being gay, like the first response is either like blank applause or blank stares, and there's that uncomfortable silence where people look at you like, okay, wait, seriously, are we being punked? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And because I'm not a stereotypical gay dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I call myself an Obama gay.
Okay, what is that?
That means I did not come out the closet until Barack Obama said that shit was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that cosign in the black community by Barack Obama meant everything. Because if y'all don't know, you know, there are people who got pictures of Barack Obama hanging in their houses that don't even have pictures of their fucking kids hanging in their houses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's real. It's real. And you know, so for me, I felt like, you know, I had to live in my truth doing comedy. You can't be a comedian and not be able to expose all parts of your life.
Yeah.
And if I was going to really be a comedian, I had to live in my truth. And so that became a part of my stage show, and it actually became really therapeutic for me. And honestly, yo, it's a lot of humor in the whole having to like
gay?
hide in the closet and trying to like perpetrate, you know, for folks, because I'm working in hip hop, a very homophobic industry. Yeah, as we very much know. And so, you know, all the things that you do to try to mask your shit, and, you know, in my act, I talk about having a fake lap dances, you know what I mean?
Because let me ask you that, because we, in the music business, there was a time
you were there for some of those.
Yeah, like, we've been to strip clubs together. And I'm like, giving Buttah the thumbs up. He's giving me the 2 thumbs up.
Right.
And all the time, you suffering during that? Or, I mean, how did you know?
See, this is how you fake a lap dance. See, what happens is, while you're on one side of VIP getting a hand job or a blow job.
Hold up, man. That never happened. Not
that happened. I'm just saying, if that were happening, if that kind of stuff happened, I was on the other side of VIP actually talking to Strawberry about her dreams and her aspirations. And sometimes she showed me pictures of her kids. And I mean, I'd be like, oh shit, Strawberry, you got to take one into private school? You go, girl. You know, so that's how you fake a lap dance. But
let me ask you this. Like, you know, a lot of guys, you know, let's be honest, when they get, you know, have lap dances, they get aroused. You wouldn't even get aroused at a lap dance?
I mean, yeah, you do. I mean, dude, I dated women. I loved women. It was just, you know, you have that feeling in the back of your head, and the thing, people say, you know, it's a choice. It's really not. It's like you're kind of born that way, and you can deny, and you can push it down, and you can suppress it for a period of time, but eventually, you know, you got to wake up and live with yourself. And so for me, it was like, you know, you always think, okay, if I pray hard enough, if I meet the right woman, it's going to go away. You know what I mean? And so I never wanted to be one of those dudes once I realized what my deal was. I didn't want to be one of those dudes that's like, the guy who marries the chick and has the family and messes with dudes on the side, because that happens, you know what I'm saying? And that's all.
Did you do that in any of your relationships? I had a girl but mess with a guy on the side?
No. I have to say that honestly, like once I got to that point where I had that realization, I had to cut everything off. Yeah. And again, like that's also part of my humor is the fact that it's like, okay, so now I'm with this woman and I got to have a conversation with her about, you know, about what do I do? And this is what I've learned about women, okay? Women say they want men to be honest, but when it comes to I might be a homosexual, I think they would rather be lied to. Because it's like, okay, how do you really have that conversation? You're emotionally invested in a dude, and he comes to you and he says, hey, babe, you know, I love you. I think you have a great relationship. You know, you're going to make somebody a fine wife one day. And by the way, ladies, when a man says that to you, you pretty much know it's not going to be you. Yeah. But, but it's like, you know, I have these feelings and da-da-da. And it's like, really, like, what woman really wants to hear that? I mean, they say you want to be honest.
Would you want that kind of truth, Heather?
Well, I'm a dude saying I'm gay?
Yeah.
It's a premise to an episode of Snap. That's pretty much what it is.
Right? It's like, Buttahman is here. I'm opening up the phone lines. If you ever had to come out of the closet in front of friends, work co-workers, your community, your culture, 888-742-3345. Buttahman's performing.
Are we really ready for this?
Yeah. He's performing at the Stand NYC tomorrow at 6 p.m. Sway in the morning. 31 minutes into the hour. Got my friend Buttahman who's here with us right now. Buttahman, formerly of MTV. MTV, helped launch MTV Jams, Hood Fab, and then went over to BT. Was producing, working with 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Music director. Recently, after Obama was elected to office, came out and let everybody know that he was gay.
Yeah.
And, you know, for those who don't know Buttah's been immersed in hip-hop culture for his entire life. Buttah is from the West Indies. He's from St. Thomas. And
VI Massive!
Did your mom know? Did your family know?
The thing was, I decided to tell my family because when I was doing Hood Fab, you know, my worst fear was like somebody tweeting something. It was like the beginning of the whole like Twitter social media era. So I did tell my mom and my family, my immediate family, years ago. But that was another thing that kept me in the closet because, you know, if y'all don't know, you know, the most homophobic race of people are West Indian people. You know, it's like a culture where it's socially acceptable to sing songs like Boom Bye Bye and Abati Boy Head. You know what I'm saying? So you grow up in a club, you hearing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you have those kind of feelings and you're in a club and all of a sudden you hear, 2 man kiss up and a shot them. And you're like, wait, I'm just trying to do the butterfly like everybody else up in this mother. Like, why? Like,
before the song ends,
just saying.
but you had to fake it though.
I mean, the thing is, that culture is, you know, is real hardcore, real hardcore. I mean, I think there's a lot. I think it's evolved, but it's still very much like, you know, very hardcore. And culturally, again, for me, that was all the resistance of me trying to, like, you know, I didn't want to disappoint my family, my people, my friends, all the people who who you think are like, you know, who love you. You don't give them enough credit to understand that the people who really love you are going to love you regardless.
Yeah.
And I think that was one thing. I didn't give the people in my life enough credit to think that if I told them, yo, this is what's up with me, that they would actually be understanding. You always have this fear that the whole ground is going to swallow you up whole and everybody's going to...
Did you lose any friends, though?
No, let me tell you the thing about losing friends, Sway.
Yeah.
All that time I was in a closet, you know, thinking I didn't want to lose my friends for thinking I was gay.
Yeah.
Bruh. When I lost my job at MTV, when I got laid off, that's when I lost all my friends. Okay, it had nothing to do with being gay. It had everything to do with not being able to like get people's stuff played and do that was what it was, and that was one of my epiphany moments. It's like, wait a minute, all this time I spent in the closet for all the homies, and now I'm not at MTV no more, and all of a sudden these cats ain't calling me, like nobody's fucking with me. Yeah. And so that was one of the realizations. I was like, well, I could have just been being myself.
It's true, man. I didn't return a few of his calls either.
No, but
I'm joking. Of
course. But the thing about it is, the thing with our industry is that, you know, if you're a nurse and you lose your job, other nurses will still talk to you. Or if you're a teacher, this is the only industry where if you don't have that
access,
you don't exist.
They don't care. All right, we got Angel on the line from Oregon. Good morning, Angel. How you doing?
Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Good morning. Good morning.
Say hello to Buttahman. He's a comedian. He's performing at the Stand NYC tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in New York City. And he came out of the closet.
I'm real funny like that.
Well, good morning, Buttah. Congratulations. I'm sorry it took you so long to knock that wall down, but it happened.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I appreciate that, no doubt.
You had a similar experience?
I had a similar experience. I was actually 14 when I told my mom that I was gay, and she basically told me I was going to hell. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, holding your hand for you judging me. But at the same time, I think it was the best thing ever. Yeah. But my whole thing is I still fight the demon because my parents and my family still feels that I need a man in my life, especially with me having a 7-year-old son, which is understandable. So it's like I still have to say, okay, do I want to go through this? Can I put up with a man for 11 years so my son is old enough to understand, but then I'll be unhappy. So that's the only battle I have with everything now. But other than that, I'm happy. I love women.
Exactly. And it's funny because my biggest issue right now is with old boy with that video, the church dude. Who's, I know y'all seen this, right? Where dude is like, I've been delivered. My man, I've been delivered. I'm looking at this shit like, motherfucker, please. You know, goddamn well, you know, first of all, you saw the video?
I saw the video. DK said he don't no longer have the demon inside him.
He said, first of all, he said, I don't like men's no more. I'm like, dude, you lost all credibility when you use the word men's. All right? You know you're going straight to the parking lot with the choir director or whoever to do whatever y'all do. As soon as you leave that church, stop fucking perpetrating. And then also, to me, it's like you can't, it's you. You have to face your truth. Yeah. You can't pray it away. You can't, you have to live in your truth. And what happens is when you don't live in your truth, that's when you wind up pulling other people into your mess.
We got Steven from Omaha on the line. What up, Steven?
Hey, Steven.
What's up, Sway, Buttah, and Tracy?
What up?
What up?
Hey, I was a young boy, and my dad was in the Air Force, and my mom was only 16, and I think he was 20 at the time. And he came home one night and told my mom that he was gay. And the next thing you know, he disappeared, and he ended up with a man.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow,
he went for his truth. That's the truth he was talking about, right?
But how did y'all respond to that? Like, did he come back? Did he make it his business to be in your life, or did his mom was like, could
he just cut out? He cut out of your life
he
too.
Was just bi?
Yes. He I haven't seen him. I'm 46, and last summer was the first time I've seen him since I was 6 years old.
Oh my God, 40 years.
And see that's what I'm talking about. It's like he possibly could have had those feelings knowing it, but then what happens is, again, you think, oh, if I pray hard enough, if I meet the right woman, if I get into this marriage, or now I'm in this marriage, so I'm gonna, but those feelings are there, and you live with them every day. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, to me, it's like if there's anything any way I could help someone is to understand that, you know what, you're going to be okay. Yeah. You're going to be okay. The people in your life who love you are going to be there for you and understand. Mm-hmm. And so it's better to live in your truth than trying to be something that you're not.
Since you've come out the closet, I mean, have you been public with a relationship with another man yet?
Well, let me tell you, this is the thing. This is one thing that changed things for me, because when I fell in love, you know what I mean? I realized that you could not be in the closet anymore, because and this is I'm in a perfect position to give advice to men and women, because I've loved both sexes, and I will say this is truth for men and women. Never say you're in love with somebody who's keeping you a secret or hiding you. You know what I mean? It's not real love, because the only thing that grows in the dark is mold. Write it down.
Buttahman, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, listen, if you want to talk to him directly, how can people reach you right now? If you want to continue this conversation with Buttahman, you can hit him up on Twitter.
I'm on at All Things Buttah, All Things Buttah, All Things Buttah. That's my Twitter and my Instagram. Y'all can follow me. I perform all the time, all over. I've done comedy stores in LA and Atlanta, DC. I'm always performing somewhere. Hopefully y'all can make it out tomorrow night if you're in the New York City area. And again, follow me at All Things Buttah.
The Stand NYC. That's 6 p.m. tomorrow night. The address is 239 3rd Ave. And hit them up. All right, you ever get bashed? You get gay bashed?
Bro, look at me. Who's bashing me?
Okay, all right, my man Buttahman. That's why you, okay, all right, Buttahman. Hey, man, thanks for coming by.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. We appreciate the love, yo.
No
Shy
doubt.
was good. Heather, thank you so much. I appreciate
Shaim,
y'all
did
so
you want to
much.
ask him something real quick?
What the hell happened to 106 in Park, man? They taking it off the air. What's up,
bro? I mean, they're moving it. The kids have moved into a digital era, and I think that's where they're moving the show. And it's basically realistically, kids are living online. It's a youth-oriented show, and that's the decision that was made to move it into a more digital.
Same host, or are they going to change that up too?
It's going to evolve. Those things are kind of still being worked out, but at the end of the day, the reality is this: that the format of watching music videos on television has shifted for everybody. Yeah. This. A major network stopped playing music videos. It was pretty much the last show of its kind in existence, because TRL went away almost 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
that
longer than that.
Yeah, that whole format of I gotta go home to watch music videos on TV. Now kids are like, oh, I'm the star of my own video on Vine twerking. It's a culture shift that in the middle of, and again in this game you gotta evolve. You know what I'm saying? Evolve. As we sit here on Sirius Radio.
Yeah, Sirius XM satellite.
Exactly.
Not doing tererrestrial no more. That's a dead end street. All right. Great for playing music. All right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.